Person that guesses the closest without going over, I'm gonna send you a pack of our jerky. So how much did Big Mama weigh? Big Mama weighed 7. Well, hey friends and neighbors, this is Chuck out at Sheraton Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. So just have got done with my regular job for the day and came out here to the pasture to finish up a little bit of work that I started last night. First I had to feed pigs, so that's why I'm covered in hog feed. And if you're interested, stay around to the end. We done some measurements on our 3 pregnant sows. Well, one of them's a gilt and the other 2 are sows. We done some measurements on them last night. Stick around to the end, I'll tell you how much Helen and Little Mama and how much Big Mama each individually weigh. Leave me a comment down below. Stop the video right now. Leave a comment down below on how much you think Big Mama weighs. Let's go with Big Mama, and I'll tell y'all here in just a few minutes how much she weighs. But leave a comment down below what you think Big Mama weighs. But that's not what I want to talk about tonight. Tonight I want to talk a little bit about a topic that I didn't realize was so debated, discussed, and talked about until I started looking into it and doing it myself. And it's clipping pasture. So hang around for a little bit. Let me show you what we're trying to accomplish. We're going to do a little bit of mowing, and let's talk a little bit about our pasture and what's going on out here on some of our ground. Stick around for a little bit. Okay, so we're up here on one of the pastures that is it's above our barn, but it's also above the pastures where we've ran pigs and chickens and all that kind of stuff in the past. But this particular spot right here that I'm standing in, earlier this year we ran a big group of pigs across here and let them beat this up pretty good. Last year, this is one of those areas that we had a forestry mulcher come in, and this was kind of getting pretty thick with sweet gum, saplings, cedar saplings. There were some sycamore saplings, a lot of brushy, woody kinds of material in here. And so we had the guys come in with their forestry mulcher and mow all that stuff down. We had a nice bed of litter here from the mulching. Had a lot of stuff, looked kind of like that, left around, and we just we left it on the ground. Brought the pigs in, let the pigs till it up, beat it up pretty hard, and we let them work it over. Moved the pigs off, gave it a little bit of rest, and we started getting some really nice grasses coming in, and you can see those here, and they're getting kind of big, and that's what I want to talk about a little bit on the pasture clipping. But another problem, and I hadn't been on this pasture probably in a couple of weeks, but a few months ago, maybe 8-10 weeks ago, we ran the sheep across, and they mowed it down really nice. But when I came through the other night, I'm starting to see a lot of this coming back. And those of you that may not know, this is sweet gum sapling, and these things are starting to pop up here. And then over here, I'm not sure what this is. This is another woody, branchy, stemmy kind of thing. So it's starting to come back in. I've seen that stuff around out here on this pasture before, but we want to get rid of that. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to work on clipping this pasture. And I mowed a little bit of it last night. So a couple of things on clipping pastures, and there's a couple of different schools of thought on this, and it all makes sense to me. One of the primary reasons for clipping pasture is weed control, and that's what we're doing here. That's what we're practicing. We're going to clip all of this down, mow it all down with the flail mower, and make sure that we knock out all of this woody, stemmy, sapling kind of stuff. There's another big patch of it. So we want to mow all that down, make sure we get all that cleared out. But a lot of guys will do their pasture clipping to control the growth of the forage. And if they don't have enough animals to run across the pasture to keep it mowed down at an appropriate height, it'll start to develop a seed head. So they'll go through and clip that pasture so that the grass doesn't go to seed. And we're starting to see some of that. Here's some right there going to seed. And one of our issues is, and I guess it's a good problem to have, is we don't have enough animal pressure to keep all the grass eaten down like it should be. So that's something we need to think about for next year, is do we need to increase the number of animals that we have on our property to keep the grass eaten down. And another issue that we've had this year that we've typically not had here in central North Carolina, we've had a wet summer. And I'll be honest with you, and some of you folks that are more experienced than me that live in this part of the country, please chime in. I have never seen grass on pasture. I've never seen grass in a yard, unless it was just being overly watered and fertilized and all that kind of stuff. I've never seen grass like this in September. I mean, this is just, typically it's dry out here. We've typically had a hot, dry summer, and there's just not a lot going on. So anyway, that's the idea. Going to do a little pasture clipping here. Going to cut all the grass down, get the seed heads off, but primarily making sure we're going to get rid of all this woody stuff and do a little bit of weed control. So like I say, hang around for a little bit. Let's do a little spot of mowing. And again, if you've not stopped already, hit pause and leave me a comment what you think Big Mama weighs, and we're gonna reveal that here at the end of the video. So appreciate y'all watching. Hang around for a little bit. Let's get some mowing done. Pasture clipped. Oh, stepped in the hole there. We've got everything mowed down nice, and a couple of added benefits of clipping your pasture that I was kind of thinking about as I was mowing. Number one, it looks better. I mean, this just looks so much better than it did with all that high grass and woody stuff and saplings and things growing up. I mean, it looks so much better. That flail mower is not going to give you a long quality cut, and I get that, but that's not what we're after. we're just wanting to knock that woody stuff down, want to clip this pasture, get the grass knocked back down. And we cut it fairly high. I mean, it's, you know, we leave it 3 or 4 inches. So number one, it looks a whole lot better. And then number two is, you know, we're leaving a lot of really nice grass clippings, which is going to be, you know, carbon material that's going to help build the soil. So, and then that overlays some of the bare spots that we've got and helps to get some new grass going. So, really pleased with the way this pasture's done. I think the pigs coming across, stirring everything up after we'd had that mulching done, and then having the sheep come back across it and letting them eat what was growing and then poop and pee on it. I think that's really helped. We've not had any chickens on this yet, so that's going to be something I think I may advocate to the big boss lady, is that we run some chickens across this. We just put 120 in the brooder this morning. I'm thinking starting them babies right over there in that corner, back up there, and then bringing them across here, spinning them around and going back. We probably can get this whole thing covered with a batch of 120 over a course of a couple weeks. So this may be a chicken pasture here in a couple weeks. So we'll see how that works out. All right, so like I said at the first part of the video, we done some measuring on our pregnant pigs day before yesterday, and we use a method where we measure the length of the pig from the root of their tail, the very top of their tail where it connects to their back, all the way up to between their ears, and then we measure heart girth. And I think it's length times girth divided by 400. I'll post a link to the calculation that we use down below. But we measured Helen, and we measured Big Mama, and we measured Little Mama. And on Helen, let me work on that light. On Helen, based on the measurements, and remember she's our Berkshire, commercial Berkshire. She's pregnant. We're expecting a blessed event from her here in about 2 weeks, week and a half. So Helen weighed 475 pounds, so we were pretty pleased with that. Little Mama weighed 670 pounds, and if you've not guessed, hit pause right now, leave a comment down below how much you think Helen weighs. Been thinking about while I've been riding around, the person that gets the closest without going over, and I'll leave it for, you know, 3 or 4 days after this video posts, the person that gets the closest without going over, I'm going to send you a pack of our Sheraton Park Pitmaster pork jerky made from some Christmas hams that we had left last year. We had done a video kind of featuring Shiner Stash jerky up in Hickory. I'll post a link to that video down below. They're the ones that make our jerky for us. But the person that guesses the closest without going over, I'm going to send you a pack of our jerky. So how much did Big Mama weigh? Big Mama weighed 780 pounds. 780 pounds. She's a monster. She's huge. She's expecting, I guess, in about 6 weeks or so. So got some farrowing coming up. We're going to get to talk about that. Of course, we'll do some videos on it, show what's happening with the baby pigs. But I think that's going to do it for today. We've done a little pasture clipping. Really pleased with the way everything turned out. I'm going to post a link to a couple other videos, some other stuff we got going over here. If you've not hit that subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button. Share these videos. I need y'all to share these videos with all your friends and family, co-workers, people you don't like, whoever you want to share them with. But share the videos, give us a thumbs up, click subscribe. Appreciate y'all watching. Be good to one another. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks.